Testing, one, two, three. FOMO, fear of missing out. I want you guys to laugh in the face of FOMO, and I'm going to teach you how. You see, for a long time, I got caught up in seeing what was going on social media with former friends or current friends, folks that maybe I was connected to, but they were doing fun things. They were traveling. They seemed like they had so many friends. Seemed like they were in a really good financial place because they were able to do a lot of things that I couldn't necessarily do in a wise way. And I would get caught up in this mindset of like, I am missing out. And not only that, people would continually tell me to enjoy my 20s. Enjoy your 20s because it only gets worse from here. So I got into this mindset that, man, all these people are taking advantage of their 20s, but what am I doing? I'm just grinding away at my dream, at what I want to do. And yes, I'm focusing on things that I value, but also there's these other things in life that I'm not able to do because I want to focus on this kind of delayed gratification of making sacrifices now in order that I can achieve what I want to in the future and achieve the goals that I want to and live the kind of lifestyle that I want to in the future. But I need to make sacrifices for that now. But even still, it was very hard to see other people. Like, I think you guys have probably been there too. You see folks traveling around the world and you're like, how can they do that? Well, the fact is a lot of them are lonely. And you see people spending money on things that you're like, how do they have money for that? Well, you realize that the average 21-year-old is in debt. Their net worth is negative. Like, when you realize that, you begin to see that there is a play going on. There is a play that people want to show off their lives as more spectacular and significant than what they truly are. Because what I've noticed is when some of that, sometimes jealousy will creep up, because not only FOMO comes up, your fear of missing out on that, but jealousy, like, I want to live that person's life. You actually sit down and talk with that person and you realize, oh, not only are they a regular person, but they have all the same struggles and issues and fears and insecurities that I have. And so what do we got to do about this? Well, for you guys in this stage, so many of you guys are in the age of 18 to 24. Okay, this is a crucial time. I'm at the end of that. I'm 24. So many of you guys are in this crucial stage where you have opportunity, you have energy, you have time. You might not have money, but you have all the resources necessary to really go and build something important and significant and worthwhile, and something that will ultimately bring you fruit and harvest for the rest of your life, or at least the beginnings of it. So many guys, though, they focus on the temporal things, the things that will not last, right? So like, if you're in party culture, if you're just focused on being in university, but you're not really putting your heart into it, and you're not really thinking about your future too much, and you're kind of using it as a tool to put off decisions in the future. A lot of these tactics are used to focus on what is temporal, what I can enjoy now, on immediate gratification, but it's not focused on making sacrifices now in order to reap harvest in the future. So why can we laugh in the face? Why should we laugh in the face of FOMO? Well, whenever I would get FOMO, I would remember not only that it's a lie in a lot of ways of what I'm seeing online, it's not the full truth of what's going on, but also the fact that when I know I'm like maybe missing out on something, I know I'm confident in the decisions that I've made. That's the key. You need to be confident in the decisions that you're making. When I'm most, like, if I'm insecure about my life choices, right? If I'm insecure about the path that I chose to take, then all of a sudden, yeah, those feelings of like, man, oh, I should have stayed in university, and I should have done this, and I should have done that. But that's all a distraction. We waste so much time. I've wasted so much time on just kind of like, maybe I should have done this, second guessing your decisions. One of the decisions that I didn't second guess was when I was 18 years old. I went to university, and I got like a scholarship, so it was basically free to go for a year. But after the first semester, I knew this is not for me. This is not for me. If I stay here, I'm going to be coasting. I'm not going to be reaching what I believe is my God-given potential. I should leave university, even though I know that's not the safest choice. I know people might question that and they might question my responsibility. But at the same time, I can't please those people, and I need to make the decision that I know God wants me to make in this moment. And I did that. I didn't second guess it. And as those years went on, a couple things came into focus. Number one, that as I was trying to make this YouTube thing work and really help people online follow Jesus, but also with the goal of providing for my family in the future and being able to set myself up in that way, there was this deep fear of like, man, did I make the wrong decision? And did other people that are in university doing the traditional path, are they the ones that are they living the life that I should have lived? And so you have this kind of different fear of missing out, where you're like, should I have made the decision that they're making? I decided to go a different path. And when we talk about, seeing other people as like having so many friends and maybe being in a super great financial place, like for me at that point, like I had a couple friends that I was close with and a bunch of acquaintances, and was barely making anything with the ministry at all to support myself. So I had another job and I was living at my parents. And so in this place, like when you looked at my life, you wouldn't see somebody that was successful. But you need to begin. This is what I tell guys all the time. You need to begin by looking unsuccessful, right? The guys that want to look successful like immediately at 20 years old, they're going to do things that are either get rich quick or take, opportunities that are going to lock them in, or like because they want the title, they want the immediate praise. But for me, I think something that gave me solace was knowing that this is just the beginning. Like, I want to start at the lowest level. I want to start down here. I want to like laugh in the face of what I'm missing out on, because I don't want that. I want this. I want this adventure. One of the things I love about Jordan Peterson is he talks about this adventure of a lifetime that men are invited into. And I just think that's so true. When you take risks, when you are actually following what God wants you to do, when you're not scared of other people's opinions or feeling the need to, I need to be that person, I need to live that person's life. When you let go of that and you just start embracing this joy, this is why I say laugh in the face of it, because there's just this deep joy and delight, even in the pit, even when you're like, man, things aren't working out as quickly as I wanted them to, or even like when things aren't working out the way that I wanted them to, you can laugh because you know that, number one, God is on your side. That doesn't mean he's going to make your life turn out in the exact way that you want it to, but he's with you. And you're working. And that when you put your mind to something, right? When you put your whole effort and your energy and your excellence, like it's all directed at some goal, right? Something is going to come of that eventually. Something is going to come of that. God has only given you one life, and I don't want you spending it obsessing about what you're missing out on, or I wish I could be like that person, or I wish I could do what that person is doing. Look at the opportunities that God has given you right now. Find your mission, find your goals. What are you working towards? And when you find them, which is often the hard part, is actually honing down those things, don't turn back. Do it. Make it happen, and don't settle. Don't compromise. Rely on God to give you strength in the midst of this. Make the sacrifices you need to make, because ultimately, and this isn't hustle culture, because we're being balanced in the midst of this. We're not neglecting our responsibilities. We're not neglecting spiritual disciplines. We're not neglecting community. But we're focusing our effort and our energy on achieving the things that we know we want to achieve, and not distracting ourselves with temporal things that will not last. Thanks to everyone on Patreon and who is a channel member. Thanks for joining the Discord and going deeper with us, joining the Brotherhood. Be sure to subscribe. Until next time, keep pursuing the mission.